Welcome to our May 2nd board meeting. Please join us in the pledge. Councilwoman Noah.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Here.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilwoman Noack.
Here.
Councilwoman Inzarella.
Here.
Councilman Lohman.
Here. We'll begin this afternoon sitting as Board of Water Commissioners. Deputy Clerk.
We have the minutes approval of April 20th, and there's 2 transfers between budget accounts. Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes. Reconvening as Town Board.
A special event in Kings Park, Chamber of Commerce, Monday on Main, on July 10th, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. There's advertised for 4 public hearings, all to be held at Town Hall at 2 o'clock. The first 2 are on Thursday, May 18th. The first is amendments to Chapter 112 of the Town Code regarding elevator inspections, and the other is proposed amendments to Chapter 322 zoning as it relates to nursery schools. The remaining 2 are going to be held on June 6th. The first is to consider proposed local law 2A, which is amendments to Traffic Code Chapter 7 entitled Off-Road Vehicles as it relates to enforcement. And the second is to consider proposed local law 11-23, adding Chapter 195 entitled Landscapers to the Town Code. Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
On consent agenda for the controller, it's number 1 to 25. On resolutions, it's 1 and 2, and the minutes of 420 and 424.
Is there anyone on the Town Board that wishes to remove resolutions from the consent agenda?
No, thank you.
No.
Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Authorize the Town Clerk's Office to advertise for bid 2351, athletic field marking paint, and 2352, used wheel loader. Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Award the following bid and authorize the purchase of the associated goods to service. Bid 23009 for a used wheel loader with attachments to Trias Incorporated. Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
The town board to approve the following. An extension of RFP 1959 stenographic reporting services for the planning board and BZA with Darlene Devlin. An amendment of town board resolution number 2021-423 regarding the retention of Margolin B. Sunder as outside counsel for various real property tax matters effective May 1st. Extension of bid 2252 for traffic signal maintenance and installation with Hink Electrical Contractor and Traffic Systems. The town board to accept as complete for the purpose of CEQA review the draft generic environmental impact statement for the town of Smithtown 2020 comprehensive plan and authorize the town clerk to advertise same with a public comment period to close at 5 p.m. on Friday, June 23rd. Renewal of annual maintenance and support agreement with Springbrook Software for KBS Financial Application Software. An amendment to the 2023 Highway Road Program to add Meadow Road in Smithtown from Route 25 to the cut line. Abandonment of Short Street, Southwell Street, the easterly half of Meadow Glen Road, and Railroad Avenue pursuant to New York State Real Property Law, Section 335. Road abandonment of a portion of the westerly half of Meadow Glen Road pursuant to New York Highway Law, Section 207. Abandonment of a portion of Meadow Glen Road appearing on the map of Green Acres pursuant to Real Property Law, Section 335. Statement of support of the reconstruction of the water feature in the 9/11 Memorial Park on Main Street in Smithtown, proposed by the Smithtown Chamber of Commerce, and authorize the supervisor to sign all necessary documents on a form approved by the town attorney. Councilman Lohman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Authorize the acceptance of a donation from Chloe Corner for $19.59 to the animal shelter. Councilman Loman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Authorize the supervisor to execute the following resolutions on a form approved by the town attorney. A participation agreement for JP Mortgage Chase for New York State Purchasing Card Program, an agreement with town employees pertaining to the voluntary transfer of vacation and/or sick time to an employee in the Department of Environment and Waterways, an agreement between the town and the Suffolk County Office for Aging regarding the housekeeper chore program, and an agreement with Suffolk County Youth Bureau for state aid in the amount of $47,225 for operating expenses January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Councilman Loman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Approved settlement per recommendation of the town attorney with Elaine Riley for $278.38 and Caitlin Natalie for $434.50. Councilman Loman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Authorize the following amendments to the Uniform Traffic Code. Add a no parking on school days on Montclair Avenue from Rutherford Street north to the terminus, and add no parking on Cornell Drive west from 350 feet north of New York State 25 north to 60 feet. Councilman Loman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
And personnel resolutions number 1 to 17, as described on the agenda. Councilman Loman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes. That concludes resolutions. Deputy Clerk, we have people wishing to speak this
Yes.
afternoon.
We have 3 speaker cards. The first is William Holtz.
Okay, before we start, ladies and gentlemen, public participation is subject to the rules and decorum which you have on your speaker cards as per Town Code Section 76.7. The public portion is for town-related matters only. Any unsubstantiated, unverified, or material false information will be interrupted. 3-minute rule will be in effect. When you hear the tone, you have 1 minute to complete your comment. Please address the board. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Supervisor and members of the Town Council. You've just accepted the draft environmental impact statement for the comprehensive plan, and my understanding is it will now be available to the public so that there can be a public comment period running to June 23rd. I understand that there'll be copies in the libraries as well as in town offices, and I don't have a problem doing written comments, but I do have questions as to whether or not people who aren't comfortable making written comments are going to have an opportunity to speak regarding the draft generic environmental impact statement. I think the thing that we want to point out is that this is something that the town doesn't do every year. Having a comprehensive plan is done only after decades, and there's got to be recognition that it's not the 50s and the 60s anymore when the town is growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm sure there's a few of you on the board like me can remember sitting in the back seat of their mother's or father's car and driving from Smithtown to Comac and seeing farms along Jericho Turnpike. And so we're in a very different place the last time that there was a comprehensive review of the planning of the future of Smithtown. And the future of Smithtown is just important today, and particularly for my grandsons, as the plans that were done back in the 50s and the 60s. So I hope there's, I haven't seen the generic, environmental impact statement. I understand it's about 400 pages and has all sorts of addendums and stuff. But I plan to make written comments, and I hope you give the chance for the public to make comments, not necessarily in written form, either having an opportunity to have some sort of public involvement. And the other point that I'd like to mention about what I'm looking for in that comprehensive plan is the fact that the primary stakeholders here in Smithtown are the residential homeowners. I mean, I know you know, there's all sorts of development that people talk about, and that gets most of the attention. But I hope that when you review the comprehensive plan, that's foremost in your mind. What is good for the majority of residential homeowners in the town of Smithtown? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Meg Shuka.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Wareheim and honorable council members. My name is Meg Shutka, and I am representing Eddie's Power Equipment located at 553 Lake Avenue in St. James. I am here today to respond to comments made by the Community Association at the April 4th Town Board meeting regarding the Summer Nights event in my family's business. As in previous years, we knew nothing about the permit for this event being submitted to the town. The closing of Lake Avenue negatively affects our business for more than just 1 hour. While our posted business hours are until 5:30 p.m., we usually are open Monday through Thursday until 7 p.m. or later during the busy season. Hours after 3 p.m. are generally our busiest hours. Closing the road hinders people being able to pick up or drop off their equipment after their own work hours. Some vendors often set up earlier than they are supposed to, and there is very little oversight while they are doing this. We don't blame the vendors. They are just trying to make a living like we are. We are a brick-and-mortar store, and we pay taxes to be in our location. We cannot move. The vendors can move wherever an organization chooses them to be. I would hope that the town would be more concerned about the success of brick-and-mortar stores more than they would be about vendors that open up the back of their trunks to sell their wares. It also needs to be mentioned that the Community Association makes money from the vendors that they are setting up in the very location of brick-and-mortar stores that are service-oriented, forcing the closing of the road. The Community Association makes money while the businesses lose money. Instead of caring about a local business's needs, they completely ignore them and continually seek to cause harm to them. Telling a service-oriented business whose business involves repairing, servicing, and selling equipment that they should hand out T-shirts, pens, and hats certainly confirms that they know nothing about that business's operations, nor do they care after all these years about the concerns of that business. A business that has been operating successfully for close to 60 years knows what they need and what will help or harm them. Last year, the town attempted to help us with moving the event location, but the Community Association resisted and the event was moved back. The event time was changed to 6 p.m., and that was a compromise our business agreed to. Even a 6 p.m. road closure is an issue, but we can work with that. As far as the comment about harassing the vendors, last year a food truck vendor could not start his generator. Charlie and Jason from our business tried to help by diagnosing the problem with the generator, but determined it wasn't a quick fix, and the vendor had to call a relative to bring another generator. I would not call the actions of Charlie and Jason harassment. They tried to help, which is their nature, and they understood the need for this vendor to be able to operate. Over the past years, Eddie's Power Equipment has been the subject of harassment via threatening phone calls and negative social media comments that have occurred all because we are trying to defend the right to conduct our business the way we have to for close to 60 years. Please read the April 11th letter that we sent to you regarding our concerns. In short, all we are asking of the town is to require that the road closure occur no earlier than 6 p.m. and that the event setup not occur before 5 p.m. I think that is more than reasonable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lori Ann Cassay.
Hi, my name is Lori Ann Cassay. I live on Mills Pond Road in St. James, and I am here to confirm closure of the application for the assisted living facility on the Bull Run Farm property. I was here a few weeks ago, and we talked about the CEQA, I'm very bad about pronouncing that correctly, being in need of being done first, and so I'm looking to find out if I can close the book on this,
You can, it's been adopted. The
meaning...
local law has been adopted,
Okay,
okay? So that use will not be permitted in residentially zoned properties.
so it just completely excludes that application now, and we're all happy, well, except for some
I don't
of
know if
us.
you're happy, but that concludes
Okay.
that piece of development, yes.
Well, I thank you all so, so much for doing what you do well, and with that, keeping in mind the community, the St. James community, and all that this area means to us, as small as it may be, I think it's time to celebrate. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Question on that? Has the developer withdrawn the application?
That I do not know. Does anybody know? I don't know. We could check with planning and find out.
Okay, but if you don't know that the developer has withdrawn the application, it's still a legal issue? No? You don't have to have a hearing on it? You have to complete his application?
Because it is not a zoning decision, is that the reason behind it? Because this was special exception, and you all just made.
It's no longer a permitted use.
Not a permitted use,
Yes.
okay.
But his application was in before the board's action.
Mr. Holtz, why don't you speak to the attorney after the meeting? All right, thank you very much. All right, there's no other speakers?
No other speakers.
I move to close.
Supervisor Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilwoman Anzarella?
Yes.
Councilman Loman?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for attending.